What's going on? 22 here, and you are now watching Comic Book Addicts with S. Vaughn 82. What's your fix?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Comic Book Addicts. This is episode 39, and hope everybody's doing well. I'm kind of dealing with a little bit of a toothache. I broke off the back part of one of my back teeth on the way home from work, so I'm kind of hurting, but I almost canceled, but I decided I was going to push through it because I definitely wanted to go on. I wanted this to happen tonight. So we're here, and we're going to have a good time. But anyways, I hope that your week is off to a good start, though. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. We got an awesome guest joining us this evening. Some good recovery-related stuff. But first, I wanted to talk about a few things. We have CBC finalist voting going on now. And I wanted to kick it over to Brian to tell you a little bit more about that.
Hey YouTube, Brian LCS with a Comic Book Community Awards update. Finalist voting is now open for the 2023 Comic Book Community Awards and runs through November 18th. So please visit cbcawards.org and vote for your favorites in 26 different categories.
Be sure to go vote. I think you have until November 18th. He just said it. November 18th. You have till November 18th, but better sooner than later. There's a lot of really good content creators that are nominated, so be sure you get those in. Coming up here, October 20th, we got Comics Curing Cancer, and there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff going on. Just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware. It's going to be running Friday the 20th through Sunday the 22nd. And there's actually a list, and I forgot to add the link, but I'll go back and add the link. Anyways, there's going to be a bunch of live streams running Friday straight through Sunday. There's going to be auctions, a lot of cool prizes. Some really, really cool stuff has been donated. Last year, they raised a significant amount of money, and this year, we hope to raise even more. And I'm very proud to say that I'll be a part of it this year. I'm doing a special Comic Book Addicts that Saturday, October 20th. It's going to be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to be talking with Jason Douglas. Jason Douglas is an awesome writer. He's two-time Ringo Award nominated for his series Parallel on Source Point Press. But not only that, he's a cancer survivor. So he's going to be talking to us about that and the importance of kicking cancer's ass, right? Because that's the ultimate goal, is raising money to do that. And he's going to be talking about his new title, Jane American. And I have seen the inner artwork for this book, and let me tell you, it is awesome. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to talking to Jason Douglas. I also wanted to tell you guys, next week, we're going to have the creator of Rad Wraith, Tristan Gallagher. He'll be coming back to talk about the new Rad Wraith double feature that's going to be coming out. I'm going to have my brother, Circumstances, back to hang out, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope that you guys will come back next Monday at 7:30 to hang out with me and Marcus. See what we got in the chat. We got Las Cruces. What's going on, man? Always first in the chat. Las Cruces from New Mexico. He says, woohoo, and hello from New Mexico. We got Tony from the Comiverse. He says, hello there, and greetings from the backwoods of Arkansas. What's up, Tony? I hope you're doing well, man. Let's see. We got Ryan Riley. Says, what's up, my peeps? Ryan, I think, is out in Memphis or somewhere out in West Tennessee. What's going on, Ryan? I hope you're doing well. We got Marcus, who I was just talking about. He will be with me next week. So I hope you guys will return next week for Comic Book Addicts 40, I think. Number 40. It's hard to believe I've been doing it 40 times now. Remy Q, what's up, man? See, Daredevil NYC, what's up, bro? What's going on? I hope you're doing well. Need to jump on Whatnot and check out another one of your Whatnot auctions. He does some really cool Whatnot auctions, or really cool auctions over on Whatnot. Digger Jim, what's going on, bro? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Wellbore, what's up, man? Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Collecting with D.A.S. What's going on? He says, hello, my beautiful homies. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay, I think we got everybody. Yeah, I think so. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. My guest this evening is someone who is not only able to turn her own life around and be a successful member of society, but she's been helping people every day for years now to do the same at a treatment center here in Chattanooga by the name of C.A.D.A.S. Um, she really has a lot of great things to share. So I'm proud that she was able to come back and hang out with us for a third time, y'all. But y'all help me welcome Charlotte Gaston to the live stream. What's up, Charlotte? How
Hey,
are you?
Scott, how are you?
I am good, other than my little toothache that I'm battling.
Man, you are like a rock star. I get this message a few hours ago. I broke off half a tooth, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, like my face hurts, like the whole side of my face.
I bet.
I was gonna cancel, but I'm like, nah, we can't do that. We got to do this. We got Charlotte tonight.
I think I got to cancel, and I was like, I mean, okay, that's cool. Do you need me to do anything? And 10 minutes later, is like, nah, never mind. I'll just slap a little dirt on it. It'll be fine.
I mean, I've been through worse. I found like everything that I've tried with a toothache in the past, I think ibuprofen works. That and like maybe a heating pad works better than anything.
Yep. Ibuprofen and heating pad, I've heard. And then if you get, I know this is weird, but anybody out there ever get like an infected tooth, an actual bag of tea, unbrewed tea?
Yeah.
I hand those out at work for the folks before they can get to the dentist. It actually takes the pain out, pulls the infection out.
What? I've never heard that before. That's crazy.
No, it's the weirdest
thing. What it is about the tea that does that.
I don't know what it is. Something about the tannins and something else in it, but it actually helps the pain and it helps draw out the infection. It's not perfect, but between that and some ibuprofen, apparently it makes a huge difference. So I keep big boxes of black tea bags in my office.
Wow, that's a good tip. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, try it.
Well, it's been a little while since you've been with us. What have you been up to lately?
Oh my gosh. I tried a new schedule at work. It was a massive fail. So I've already gone back to the old schedule.
Well, you should probably explain. I probably should have asked, explain to everybody at home who is not aware of who you are and what you do. Give them like a brief little.
That's fair. We're just talking like everybody knows who the hell I am.
That's my bad.
No, it's cool. Well, so I'm Charlotte Gaston. I am a person in long-term recovery, which is pretty cool. I work at C.A.D.A.S, the grant-funded treatment center in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've been there for 4.5 years now, and I've worked from a tech and residential through several different positions, and I'm back in residential now. I was in the MAT IOP program for a while, the medication assisted treatment program.
Yeah.
And now I'm back in residential as a primary counselor now, which is pretty astonishing to me. I've been there for 1.5 years now, which is shocking to me. And I know, which is weird, but I've got a caseload and I get to work with individual clients and with a group. I have a caseload that's a group. And I don't know, I get to walk with people for the 28-day program that we have and help them, I don't know, get situated and try to get a little bit comfortable in their skin and plan their next steps. Those first 28 days, which are, I don't know, excruciating and uncomfortable and not for the faint of heart. So,
yes, it's tough.
Yeah, it is.
So what's new for you? You were telling me backstage that some things had changed for you for the better, actually.
Yes. So schedule stuff back on my regular 5-day schedule. That's just a whole thing. I tried something new at the end of the summer. That was too much for anybody out there who does counseling or is thinking about it. 10-hour days. Don't do that. It's ill-advised.
It's got to be draining.
It's a lot. I love what I do, but It can be draining. I did this training recently that was, it was actually when I was in treatment. They had these flyers out that were inspirational at the time for this fairly new program. It's called the C.A.D.A.S program, Certified Peer Recovery Specialist. It's this peer position. Peer meaning someone, you know, comparable to the person who's in or trying to be in recovery. And so it's someone in recovery trying to help other people early in recovery or trying to get there. And it was 40-hour training, and you need 2 years clean, or in recovery from mental health, or both.
Okay.
It was the first thing that I looked at that I was kind of like, I wonder if I could do that.
And you have a lot of clean time now, don't you?
I'm coming up on 6 years, actually.
Yes, that's awesome. That is
Which
so
is
great.
it kind of blows me away when I think about it, actually.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you. The opportunity came around, and I've been working like on this track for counseling for a while now. The opportunity came around for me to do the C.A.D.A.S training. It's gotten more and more and more popular recently. There's some of your folks may have heard of it just because the number of positions and opportunities to do this as a job or even as a volunteer has exploded in the last few years. They work in jails, they work in hospitals, they work with the Department of Education, I think. They work all over the place. And so I got to do that training 2 weeks ago. And like I said, it's a 40-hour training. It's a full week. I got to do it at C.A.D.A.S. I just had to take some vacation hours to do it. And I figured I was going to like it, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's kind, and I'll try to get into it a little bit. It's not a counselor position. It is a peer position.
Okay.
But
what's the difference between the two?
So it's a counselor and anybody who's ever been to a counselor, it's very much hey, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm kind of lost. What do you think I should do? And in that position, and with that statement on the table, a counselor will, in theory, make some suggestions, but we'll also try to pull out, well, what do you think is best? What do you want to do? What have you tried? What have you not tried? But a counselor will make suggestions, will kind of steer a little bit, if you will. A peer won't. They specifically won't, because my job, if I'm a peer, is to simply be a mirror, reflect. My job is to sit there and give you an example of somebody who used to be in a terrible place and now I'm not. And I'm sitting there so you can see that, you can get better. And if you are referred to me as, I'm going to be your peer, my job is now I'm on your team, no matter what. I'm on your team. Say you are referred to me and you are coming to me for peer support. Yeah. And I am now on Team Scott, no matter what. I am Team Scott. Start to finish, beginning to end, I am Team Scott, no matter what it is you're trying to accomplish. Any improvement in your life you're trying to make, any movement toward health, I'm going to be your cheerleader. I am going to be your encourager. I am going to say, absolutely, let's try it. It doesn't matter if I agree with the idea or it would be the move I would make. If it's what you think is a good idea and you're willing to try it, I'm like, yes, absolutely. Let's do it. So
it's like a goal-oriented program?
Yes, definitely. It is very focused, and a lot of it came about when a lot of MAT, medication-assisted treatment, got going. it is very focused on harm reduction, but in a broader sense. Recovery and the treatment center model
Yeah.
has for a really long time been focused on abstinence or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to do it this way and get completely clean, which, you know, in a way, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but it does keep a lot of people afraid because they might not be ready to do all that.
And it's a big jump. It's a
It's a
big
huge,
jump.
it's a
Yeah.
huge jump. It's terrifying to make that decision.
Yeah, it really is.
And there's a lot of barriers. There's a lot of people who have very legitimate barriers. And I think that there's a lot keeping people out. And it's very easy for me to sit here with my life the way it is and going, you should make recovery, no matter what it looks like, your focus and your primary concern, and get your ass to treatment. It's very easy for me to say that.
Yeah.
But there are people with jobs that they don't want to or feel like they can't give up. They have kids at their house
Hey,
that they
Rolando.
need to take care of, or whatever it is, and they feel like, I can't go stay someplace for 28 days. But what I can do is try to quit at home, or I can go to IOP, or I can do something, you know, virtually online. But if someone tells them, no, that's not enough, you've got to do this or nothing, well, then, like, well, then why bother? That's, you know, prohibitive. We're putting up barriers where there shouldn't be one.
Okay.
And so a peer specialist actually steps into the gap and will advocate for somebody and say, well, why don't we help this person? There's actually been examples before. And C.A.D.A.S is actually starting to do more of this. Not quite enough, but it's making progress.
Yeah.
Say, for example, somebody is trying to get off of meth, and they are on Suboxone maintenance, which is great.
Okay. Yeah. MAT. Medically
Absolutely.
assisted treatment.
Absolutely. Which is fantastic. They've already gotten themselves off heroin or fentanyl or pills or whatever it was that they were doing. And they are on Suboxone MAT. They have been on a maintenance dose for however long, but they've gotten started doing something else, meth or whatever else, or even alcohol. And they've become problematically using this other thing.
Yeah.
They go to treatment, and there's like nowhere, at least there used to be a couple of years ago, nowhere in the state that you could go and say, I need off meth, but I am on Suboxone maintenance, where they would get you off meth, but let you stay on Suboxone.
They would make you go off of both?
Yep, all of it. Because of the abstinence model.
Okay.
But this is somebody who already had this other problem and dealt with it, and they were already dealing with it in this way. And because of whatever circumstances, they started using this other thing in a problematic way.
Yeah.
There's no need to come off of, in fact, it would be disruptive and dangerous, you know, potentially, for them to come off of everything. That's not the help they're asking for.
Right.
And so it would be my idea and my decision that you need to come off of everything. Well, why? That's not the help that they're asking for. They're asking for help getting off meth.
Yeah.
And until very recently, there was no way for them to get that help. In fact, people were getting shamed for their unwillingness to come off of everything.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so with the, you know, the prevalence of harm reduction, that's getting a little bit easier. And now with the prevalence of the CPRS position, it's getting even a little bit easier to find, because the CPRS can step in and say, wait a second, they have a well-established program for this issue. They're already in recovery for this because their recovery from heroin addiction is Suboxone maintenance. They don't need help with that.
Yeah.
They've got one taken care of. They are in
Right.
recovery. What they're asking for help with is meth addiction. So there's
and that's something that has now been added to C.A.D.A.S as an additional form of treatment.
It is. We're getting there, and it's a case by case basis. It is a case by case basis. But if somebody comes in already on or having successfully used Suboxone maintenance, but has other substances that they need to get off of, then yes, they can get help getting off these other things.
We talked. I think we talked about this a little bit last time, but what would you say is like the rate of people that are successful on the Suboxone?
We're getting a lot more people that are being given the opportunity. I can say that.
Okay.
This question comes up a lot. There's a lot of different people with a lot of different opinions about it, a lot of different feelings about it. And it, and I get it. Like, I understand all sides of it. It depends on what department, that people are in C.A.D.A.S as to, how they feel. And I can't speak to anybody else's, opinions or thoughts, except that what I truly believe is that everybody really wants, I hope and I believe, what's best for the client. But depending on where they're standing and where they're serving, from inside C.A.D.A.S, they're getting a different piece of the picture. And so it's hard to, it's got to be hard to coordinate that. I can only imagine what it looks like from the top, trying to, make a policy to say, this is what we're going to do. I'm very glad that's not my job.
Yeah, that'd be difficult.
I'm glad that's
difficult.
But what is happening is that more people are being given the opportunity. I think it's being shown clearly enough in other places in the state that Suboxone is saving lives, and that so many people are dying that we've got to give them the opportunity.
Yeah, I think so.
They're just by virtue of more people being given the chance, I think we're having more success. It may be just by virtue of the numbers that we're seeing more people being given the chance. But then again, here's what I will say, and this is something that I was taught in the C.A.D.A.S class, is what does success mean? What is the definition of success? What is the definition of recovery? If somebody goes out, gets on Suboxone maintenance, stays clean on Suboxone maintenance for, 2 years, and then continues on that path, but starts smoking pot again.
Yeah.
But they've got their job. They've either got their kids or they've got access to their kids. They've got their car, their life's improved. If they're happy with their life. Now, if I come and drug screen them, which is none of my business to do, and I come and I want to have an opinion about the fact that they're smoking pot, I can.
Yeah,
but
of course.
But if they're happy with their life, if their life is improved, if they're trucking along, living their best life, having a good time, being present for their kids, being present for their employer, then why can that not be a definition of recovery? It's
I like that.
not. It's not my definition of recovery.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be.
Right. Yeah.
It can be theirs. They are living a successful life. They're sure as hell living a more successful life than they were 2 years ago when they had to go to rehab.
Out overdosing on the streets and
bingo.
Locked up. And
absolutely. There are people who can be in recovery from opiates or meth or whatever, who can drink every now and then. I cannot do that, but they can.
And I'm the type of person, I never really had a taste for alcohol, So alcohol is not something that's ever been a dangerous thing for me. So
Exactly.
I probably could have an occasional drink. I haven't,
Yep.
like probably in 5 or 6 years.
Yep.
Just because I don't like it, but I could though. I
Yeah.
mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And the fact that you haven't, and that it probably wouldn't even occur to you, is a
I just
very,
don't
yeah,
like it.
you just don't. And that's a very important distinction. Like, you just don't like it, don't care to. That is like my primary substance. I get started on it and literally cannot stop. I like would hit or miss cocaine, for example. Pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. Did I have fun with it? Sure.
Of course.
Did I pawn my stuff for it? No. But
I was going to say, of course.
which means do not recreationally do cocaine, Scott.
Right. Yeah, probably not.
But
not
like
a good
I
idea.
So it wouldn't occur to me to do it now because I get drug tested at work. I might get popped with a random. Could I probably do it? I mean, maybe, but I'm not going to.
It's not worth it.
No, exactly. I've got too much to lose, which means I'm not going to risk it, which is a perfect example of somebody who could probably do it and isn't going to, because I've got some sense about me now.
Yeah.
So it's not up to me what somebody else's recovery looks like. It's not up to me to define what their recovery life looks like. Now, if somebody from C.A.D.A.S wants to search someone else's house 2 years down the road and say, you could be doing better. Well, I mean, couldn't we all? And I think we've talked about this before, that, you know, there's lots of substances and behaviors out there that we do addictively, and society as it stands right now just dismisses it as in, well, everybody does that. You know, food, sugar, shopping, all kinds of stuff. We live outside of our means. We eat things that are bad for us and more than we need in lots and lots of ways. And no one thinks twice about it, but it's very much addictive behavior.
Oh, yeah.
So who's to say, if I'm living a better life than I used to, if I can maintain, if I have, you know, joy and success and all this kind of stuff, if I have a sense of wellness about myself, then that's recovery.
It's like a life coach in a way.
Yes. Oh my God. I didn't even think about that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I didn't even think about that, but that's exactly what it is. In a sense that we encourage people to do what they know on the inside is going to be best for their life. And to encourage people that you already have your answers. You're going to know when you're living your best life, when you are living a healthier version of your life, because I knew it when I got there. I didn't know it when I started what it was going to look like, but when I got there, I knew. If I fall out of it today, I would know.
Yeah.
So,
and see, like in my case, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But like in my case, I don't even feel like I'm there, and I'm like 3.5, probably close to 4 years.
Close to
I don't
4 years.
really feel like I'm there. I still have things that I really feel like I need to work on, and things that I really need to improve, like even to this day.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm the same way. Oh God, I'd hate to think I didn't have anything to work on. Good Lord. That would be that would be bad. Well,
no, but I still have things that I have to that I do need to work on though. I'm not the best version of myself yet.
Me either. There's still things that I want to have and improve and work on, and and I've had, you know, some like physical struggle in the last few months just because life happens, some sickness and things like that, and it just, you know, it causes some struggle. It can bring on, you know, have chronic pain stuff, and you know, you get tired. It brings on some depression. I think that's normal, like normal human stuff, which is not anything. It's not anything I've ever been interested in, was being a normal human, which is probably how I ended up in rehab in the first place. Because those normal human emotions, I can fix that shit.
Yeah.
I can make it stop.
Yep. Make it go away.
Absolutely. I've probably got a bottle for that somewhere. But yeah, but there's, it comes and it goes and it ebbs and flows, and, it'll just bring the opportunity for change and improvement one way or another.
Well, I thought Mark has a question here. He says, doesn't recovery teach people very early on that those that find themselves in deep addiction probably should listen to others who have been there instead of trusting themselves?
Yes. Oh, so glad somebody asked that question, because God. And that came up in the C.A.D.A.S training. And I had the same question. And it's funny because our trainer almost refused to answer it, which I thought was very sneaky of her. Yes. But there's also something in me, which is funny, that kind of knew the answer at the same time. Yes. In the midst of addiction, in deep addiction, should I listen to myself? No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. However, if I stop and go to somebody else and start leaning in towards somebody who is not in active addiction, start asking questions and start reflecting myself toward them, and stopping and thinking about what it is that I'm doing. What am I not doing? Why do I make the decisions I make?
Yeah.
What direction am I going? Do I like this direction? Then that right there has put a pin in the direction I was going, and I'm automatically redirecting. I've already stopped the flow of active addiction, in a sense.
Yeah.
And I'm already turning the dial in another direction. I firmly believe that once I have stopped the flow of complete active addiction and I start listening to anything at all other than myself, I have access to my own intelligence, my own values, the thing inside myself that I have been living against, that is causing the addiction, that is causing the pain, that is causing the need for me to make the pain stop. And as soon as I turn away from that, my own sense of, wait a second, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not this. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not this. It's over here somewhere. And so I start asking questions of other people. And whether they give me the answer or they just say, why don't you just think about it some more? Why don't you ask some more people? Why don't you stop and consider it? Why don't you pray on it? Why don't you do whatever it is that you do?
Yeah.
So, plus a peer is, and a counselor, a therapist, anybody is also going to say, why don't you talk to people that you trust? Why don't you? Because other people are going to give you advice. A peer is not, but they're going to tell you, who do you trust? Who do you love? Who loves you? Go talk to those people. Go to a 12-step meeting. Bring up the topic. They're not going to be, probably, this person is not going to be your only point of contact. Hopefully, they're going to encourage other relationships. And I promise you, other people in your life are going to be happy to give you advice. Probably.
It's so important to have people there too. Like even if you don't have people, like to go to meetings and make relationships with other like-minded people, it's very important to have people around you though. Like you have to.
Absolutely. Because there's going to be other people in your life who care. Whether they've got the right answers or not, having other people there, it is so essential. And they're going to be there. They're somewhere, whether they're friends or relatives, your coworkers, somebody, and to reach back out to them, to lean into those people and listen to them. Absolutely. That's absolutely essential. I completely agree.
Mark says part of the ninth step promised that ability would return and we'd be able to have that discernment.
Exactly.
Smart guy, Mark.
Very much so. I love it. Oh, I love that question so much.
And if any of you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
Please do.
We're just kind of hanging out.
Yep.
But
I love that.
Let's see. I got stuff to ask you.
Ask me something.
Here, let me find something good.
I'm sure I won't know the answer.
Well, what are some what are some things that you have to look out for that, like in your own personal situation, that could be potentially like triggering for you? What are things that like you still maybe to this day have to stay away from?
Wow. I'll tell you one thing for sure. Overwhelm. We, I think, kind of sort of touched on this before we got started. Perfectionism, man, that stuff is awful. I hate it. I hate it so much. I keep thinking, no, this will be fine. I just go with the flow, and I absolutely do not. I do not. I don't do any such thing. Not at work. I don't. Not at work.
Well, you're really good at what you do, though. Like, I'm not just saying that. I mean, you're really good at your job, so I can understand you. You're trying to uphold a certain level of. You're probably too hard on yourself, though. You're probably way too hard on yourself.
God, I am, and I. It's like they used to use. I don't know if people still do it or not, but this image in 12 Steps where they, peel the onion and you keep getting down to these deeper layers of revelation about yourself. And I have made progress on this, but I do, for better or worse, I tie a lot of my self-image and self-worth to my job, because I am one of those people who takes a lot of myself and puts it into that, because it's what I have. I have this whole, messy, tragic past, and it's now worth something because I can turn it into helping people with it. I don't see anything wrong with that. I really don't.
No.
Some people, it makes it valuable, and that's good, because I spend a lot of time screwing up. I got to do something with it.
No, it amounts to a lot. Like, you and Mike taught me so much. I mean, like, I learned so much from you two. So really, I mean, it's awesome.
I'm very, very glad. And see, stuff like that makes literally every tragedy worth it to me. The fact that it's helpful to somebody else.
Yeah.
And so I'm not one of those people who can just go out and work at a desk doing random stuff. That is not me. That is not my life. It never will be. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
But because that's who I am, because that's, how I spend my life, it really does become kind of wound up in, so therefore it has to say it a certain way. I have to do it a certain way. And it does allow perfectionism to sneak in there, which is a thing I've had my whole life. And I'll do okay for a while, but then if I get tired, or if I get stressed, or if I get really, really busy, old habits will sink in, and my go-to, my knee-jerk response is to do too much, to do it, perfection, to tie perfect little bows on everything, and to basically have no damn chill. And it's exhausting. I exhaust myself. I talk about, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm overwhelming my damn self. So
yes, I can relate. I can relate. I do the same thing. I'm a lot like that. I'm very hard on myself.
And I have people give me the answer all the time, and I hear them, and then I will not do it. I've gotten a little better. That the availability of being overwhelmed is there. I don't have to pick it all up, and I am trying to do a better job of that and learning how to take the responsibility off of my own plate and see and just watch the world not fall apart if I don't do it perfectly, because it doesn't. And so not so maybe I'll start saying it a different way. Maybe I will start saying I need to not overwhelm myself. That's what I'll start saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
probably
not
a very good thing to say.
yeah. I'll need to stop overwhelming myself, because there's
Yes.
always enough. There's always too much to do. There's always going to be
Yep.
more. It's available. I can pick it up. I can do too much. That's never going to be a problem. So I need to not, because I'm the one doing it.
Yeah.
And getting too tired and not taking good enough care of myself would be the other one, because I do a pretty good job of it, but I can even turn that into an Olympic sport, taking good care of myself and doing too much, and then end up tired from doing that. So I'm overdue for a vacation. We were talking about that.
Yeah. Definitely need to plan that out, put in for the vacation, make that happen soon
Yep.
before the holidays.
Yes. My last October, I took one in I think it was May, the very beginning of May. I went to Savannah. Oh my God, I love Savannah. If I ever disappear, look for me in Savannah. I will be there. And then about this time last year, I went to Florida. And let me just tell you, the best trip ever. I just picked this one spot I wanted to go. I wanted to go to the Dali Museum. I had wanted to go there for like 20 years. And so I just went.
Awesome.
I found the place I was going to stay on my way down there. Airbnb is the best thing ever. I'm just searching. Yes, I was using my phone while I was driving. I was searching Airbnb. I know. Arrest me from here. I was searching it as I went, because I was just suddenly, I'm going on this trip for a long weekend. I found it and rented it at a gas station when I was refilling my tank. And yeah, that's how I planned my trip.
That's awesome. No, I think that's really cool though. It's kind of spontaneous, but it's fun.
Yep.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I stayed for 3 days and I drove back and had a recovery day before I went back to work. It was fantastic. That museum is wonderful. It was better than I even expected, and I had a blast. So yeah.
So it's worth it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It was cheap. So
that's great. Well, you need to make something like that happen really soon. Do that again.
I will keep you updated.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What is something that you've learned about yourself through recovery? Like something that I learned that you and Mike taught me, and it's probably the most valuable tool that I've used since leaving C.A.D.A.S. is playing the tape through. The whole playing the tape through thing. That's saved my butt so many times. Just the ability to look ahead at a situation and look past the good part and see the all the bad that came from it, and knowing that I don't want to go back. But what's like the best thing that you've learned about yourself, or that you've learned in general in recovery? Maybe not even about yourself, just the best, most useful thing that you learned.
The most useful thing that I've learned. That even though I've gotten really good at starting over, that I don't have to. Like I don't have to start all over. And this is actually kind of a new revelation, like this level of it. I can burn my whole life to the ground and start all the way over again and create this whole new thing. But I now know for a fact that I have done that before.
Yeah.
Gotten drunk, had to start all over again because I wouldn't just change my mind.
Yeah.
Like I've gone so far down a road, and instead of just going, oh, I hate this, I hate this. I hate where I am. I'm miserable. I just need to do something entirely different, and I don't know how. So I'm just going to stop and say, I hate every bit of this. I don't want to do any of this anymore. And so instead of being embarrassed, looking stupid, saying all of these mistakes for the last 2 years have been terrible,
Yeah.
and just looking like an idiot
Yeah.
and changing directions, doing a big ass U-turn, I will just go until I'm so miserable that I am required to get messed up. And so then I just train wreck everything.
Yep.
Now I get to restart and rebuild the life that I want, when I could have done it without going through that much trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could have just gone, ooh, I hate every bit of this.
Yep.
I hate this job. I hate where I'm living. I don't even like these people I'm hanging out with. I don't like any of this. Like, this is all fake. This is all fake. I don't like the person I am pretending to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop it and do something else. And I don't have to get drunk or high to make that decision. If I'm just willing to look a little stupid for a minute, and it's not even stupid, it's just, I just changed my mind.
Yeah.
And people will say, well, why? And I said, because it's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't understand, and I don't have to care.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it is okay. It's okay because it will save me time. And I don't have to know what I'm doing. I've never done this before.
Mm-hmm.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, I can just turn around. It's not, I don't have to wreck the whole damn car. I can just turn around. It will save me time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have
Sure.
to wreck the entire vehicle to change roads. It's not necessary. In fact, it's really stupid to have to do that.
Oh God, I've done that so many times too.
Yeah,
so
me too.
many times.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It's so much trouble. It's such a mess. Yeah.
Well, now that like you don't have to deal with any of that stuff anymore, and things are better and have been better for a long time now. Like, what are some things that you're grateful for?
My God. So I have, I am grateful for the very small circle of people that I keep.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is, I say it's weird, but it's not weird for me. Like, I used to try to like pretend to keep like a really big circle, try to pretend to be really super social, and I'm not that way. I'm not an extrovert, and I don't want to be. It really would make me tired to be. So I have just like a very few friends. I do social media, which helps me keep up with people.
Yeah.
But I can't just like go out and be social face to face. I do not know why. I just don't have the capacity. I can't do it. But so I'm grateful for my small circle of friends and the fact that I learned to stop trying to be so extra.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful that I have hobbies that I love.
Yes.
I love taking pictures, and I bought myself a camera.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So this thing is my new passion. I
didn't
love
know that. I did not.
Yeah. You didn't know?
That's cool.
Yeah. I've been taking pictures with my iPhone forever now, and I love taking pictures. I used to have a 35 millimeter years ago. I love taking pictures.
You're really good at taking pictures. I've seen a lot of your pictures.
Thank you. I have such a good time with it. And all those old pictures that you've seen, those are all with my iPhone. And so the most recent ones are with this thing. Now I probably need a computer to edit them with. So, because now I'm still editing on my iPhone, but I'll get there.
Okay. We'll work on that. I don't think that'll be hard to take care of.
Yeah, I hope not. But God, I have the best time. I just go out and wander around and just snap literally hundreds of pictures. When I go out, it's like on the weekends, it's all I do. I just wander around town or wander around in the woods. And I think my last trip out, I took like 400 pictures.
It's like you found something that you love to do, that
Yep.
it's awesome because you get to go out and explore. And that's
Yep.
kind of the thing like I like with comic books.
Yeah.
It takes me out into the city and I can go explore and hunt down these books. And I guess it's kind of similar to going out and finding your destination where you want to take
Yeah.
the most
Oh,
beautiful
I would think.
pictures, and it gets you out, and
Yep.
it's healthy. And
Yep. It's probably the only thing that I go out other than if I've got to go to the store or something. I'll just get the camera and just leave the house.
yeah,
Not even necessarily with a specific destination. I'll just decide city or woods, and
that's
just
awesome.
leave. And then just like left or right, north or south, whatever. Left or right. Who am I kidding? I don't know north or south. And just go and park somewhere and just start walking. And yeah, that's what I do. I have no idea what I'm going to take. Eventually, maybe I'll be a destination photographer, but yeah, it's exactly it. And you go out looking for like specific stuff or to go
Yeah.
get things signed or whatever. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's exactly it. That's the reason I leave the house, is to go and just start taking pictures. I've gotten some pretty good ones lately. So, and my mom's house
I've
is pretty.
seen some that you posted. They're really good. All the ones that I've seen.
Thank you.
But
Thank
I think that's awesome though, because like that's really been probably the number one thing that's kept me in line, to be quite honest with you, is just having a hobby that it gives me something to do, and it keeps my mind focused on good things instead of having too much idle time. And
you.
I don't know, it's just been a really good thing for me.
Yep. If
So
it takes
I
me,
would always push a hobby on anybody that's a recovering addict. Try to find like a good hobby that you love.
yep. You having so much fun with this. And when I was sober before, because I had that time before and then I relapsed, I had a camera then and I spent so much time taking pictures and editing and all that kind of stuff. And I sold some back then too. And
Nice.
at least a little bit. And I loved it. It has taken me forever to get back into it, way too long, probably. And I now remember why I did it so much and why I spent so much time on it before. I cannot believe I waited this long to get a camera again. I would do it all the time if I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yep.
Man, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I thought about you and a couple of other people that I know, you specifically, because of your press of have a hobby, have something that you love to do, that you're passionate about, that's a hobby. And man, as soon as I got this camera, I already loved pictures, but as soon as I got this camera, I'm unstoppable. It's almost annoying with me showing people pictures. I don't even care if
That's
anybody.
cool.
I post them all the time. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have a
that's
blast.
sweet. That's really cool.
Yep.
Well, let's see. Try to find something else. Okay, this is good. Okay, I feel like this is a pretty good one because this was hard for me.
Okay.
How long did it take you to like forgive yourself for all the damage that you had done in your alcoholism? Like, how long did it take you? Because that was really hard for me.
Yeah. There's some things that I still struggle with. I just period. I still struggle with the fact that I feel like my kid got cheated.
Yeah, I struggle with that a lot.
Yeah. I didn't know, like I didn't do it on purpose. Even when I was sober before, like, mentally, I struggled with anxiety terribly, like terrible anxiety, depression also, even while I was sober. And I feel like she got, cheated on the end of, having a mom that just, I was so anxious all the time. And then, I relapsed right at the end of her high school years and just such a selfish, awful thing for me to have done. And I know I didn't do it on purpose, but
Right.
still, you know, I just, I mean, I'm just feeling such shame about that. And I feel like I just could have done so much better. And I know all the intellectually doing the best I could with what I had at the time. I know that I did that. I really do. But that's one of the ones that I'm still waiting on that to finish sinking, you know, that 10,000 miles from here to here.
Mhm.
I I have a lot of conversations with my mom about it,
Yeah.
which is helpful. It's you know, I think it comes in stages. I really do. It helps me the more I talk to other people. It helps me when I see myself getting to be like a good employee. That helps
Yeah.
me as far as, you know, any time that I feel like I wasn't the best employee before. Um, Anytime that I get to, you know, give back, volunteer or something, it helps me for when I, you know, took from people in various ways, whether, you know, intentionally or unintentionally. Um, but it was, God, it was a solid year or two before I felt like you said something about a productive citizen when you were introducing me, and I'm
Yeah.
looking around like that, like who's a
Who?
productive citizen? But it took me a year or two, and probably two, before I
Yeah.
felt like I was really living like I was supposed to be living. I was working at C.A.D.A.S for a little while, which I didn't start working there till I was almost a year and a half sober. No, right at a year and a half sober.
Okay.
And when I started working there, I had this huge case of imposter syndrome, which is still sneaks up on me at times. I kept thinking, they're gonna come take my badge away. Do they know I used to live here? I
It's
don't
doing
know.
bad stuff.
Yeah, like I think they're gonna come put me in a bed and take this thing away. I don't. But it was so weird, like stepping behind the counters and stuff. But the longer I did that and got to, you know, help people who were in the position that I used to be in. I don't know why that makes such a difference to me, but these little bitty pieces, I would watch people just struggle and suffer in little bitty sentences with things that I remember struggling and suffering with. And
Mhm.
just even just standing there with them while they were in that helped. And I was able to see in them the fact that it didn't, they didn't have to hang on to it. Like all these things that they were beating themselves up for, they didn't have to. And then
Okay.
I was like, oh, oh, wait, you too, at myself. You
Yeah.
know, if I can see so clearly how somebody else doesn't need to keep kicking their own ass, then why not me?
Hmm.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
why would you not cheerfully give yourself the same relief that you so clearly see for somebody else standing right in front of you? Like, why do I not deserve the same? Give yourself a break that I'm trying to
Boy.
hand somebody else.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, like, look at you today, and you have a great relationship. You have great relationships with everyone today, don't you?
I try, yeah. I mean, to the best of my ability, and if they don't.
Froze up.
Daughter, are we still there?
Okay. Yeah, I'm still here. I froze up for a second. My bad.
No, you're good. But yeah, my relationships today, the ones that I had then that I'm repairing, I know that we're doing the best we can. At least everybody involved is.
Yeah.
I miss my sister. I know that one struggles. I don't know what else to do about that. I'm just kind of waiting around on that one. other than that, in my new relationships, I do the best I can with them. That's what I know. And I hope that anybody who has a problem with me will tell me so I can do something about it. That's all I know how to do, you know. There's still so much I don't know. But I'm not afraid to do something about it. So
yeah, I'm sure it's part of your job to piss off the people physically in the rehab. Like,
I
it's
hope so.
part of your job to
I
piss
hope
those people off.
I hope. Oh yeah. Well, and the clients either apparently really like me or wonder what the hell my problem is.
No, we all really like you. I was actually just kidding. Everybody always liked you.
I'm really blunt. I'm told I'm really straightforward, really blunt. So it's good. I say it saves time. We got 28 days. It's not very long. I'm gonna tell you how it is. So I don't have any problem with that. If me being blunt helps save your life, then I'm cool with it. If you get mad, that's okay.
Well, let's see.
Mm.
Let's try and see if I had.
I'm gonna get. You find what you need to find. I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm drinking coffee this late.
Oh, you're gonna have a hard time sleeping tonight. I wouldn't be able to sleep.
I'm probably not gonna be able to for a while, but I wanted to be perky for this.
Oh, well, thank you, and I appreciate you coming back again. It's like I always have so much fun talking to you, and the time goes by so quickly, and it's always.
I have the best time here. I feel a little bad. My eyeballs are not working great, and I can't see any of the comments or questions that are going by. So
it's okay. I'm working with the side of my face. Just
how are you feeling?
So.
By the way, I meant to check in earlier to see how your face was doing. Is it still hurting?
It's hurting a little bit, but we're good. We're like, it's almost over now. Anyway, we made it.
Oh my God! You need more Advil.
Yeah, it's probably. I took that like 3 or 4 hours ago, so I could probably take more now.
It'll be time.
Okay, if it were not for recovery, where do you think you would be today?
Oh my God!
I know where I would be.
I mean, the easy answer is I'd be dead.
Yeah, same. Absolutely.
There's no way. But there's no way I was going to live continuing on the way I was. I do not play around. I'm pretty sure because the very first time I got sober, I was 26, 27. Okay. And the way I consume substances is like I mean it. Like I really mean it. I am dedicated to the process.
Me too.
Yeah. I do not remain conscious and unaltered. Those are not things that I do. So if I'm conscious, I am as messed up as possible on whatever I can find. And that is not something that somebody can do for a long period of time. When I relapsed most recently, the year that I was out there, I was in the hospital like 4 times, nearly dead every time. So yeah. And that was 1 year after being sober.
Freezing again.
If I had just never stopped, I think I would not have made it to 30. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah. It's.
I'm lucky.
No, not a doubt in my mind. Yeah, I wouldn't be here.
I'm lucky that I made it through when I relapsed. I really am. I had a couple of friends who tell me as much. There's a couple of times I just about didn't. So yeah.
The last time for me was horrible. It was like I'd overdosed and they almost didn't bring me back. And like I'll always remember like waking up in the hospital bed and the nurse like asking me if I had kids and telling me like how long I was out and that I was like dead pretty much, that they had to give me CPR and bring me back. And I don't know. I just don't. Oh man, the fact that I don't know. I let it get way too far, and that's where you end up. That's where you end up, though. When
Yeah, I think it's inevitable, honestly, to be in active addiction with something that has control over me, not the other way around. I do what it says.
yeah,
I do what it says, and it says suffer until you die. Those are the rules. Those are the rules. I just follow along.
I just the way that I felt when the nurse had that talk with me. I don't know. Like I would not. I don't ever want to go through that again. And that's
Mm-mm.
like that's my drive, I guess. Just
Yeah.
I don't ever want to go through that again.
I'm glad that nurse had that talk with you because, to be perfectly honest, it bothers me a little bit that when I was in the hospital multiple times in 2017, nobody ever had that talk with me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody did. I am, to this day, endlessly bothered. I think it's getting better. My friends who are navigators who go into the hospital and talk to people after they've overdosed, they also go see people who overdose on alcohol, which I
Okay.
did. And they will have that conversation with people who are also suffering from alcohol addiction. Nobody had that conversation with me, and I was in the hospital actively dying from alcohol addiction. And if someone had said to me from the hospital bed, you need to go to treatment, we can make a phone call, would you go? I would have absolutely gone. I was dying and I knew it, and I didn't know what to do. I had been on and off the phone trying to get into some rehab somewhere, literally anywhere. I don't care. And I didn't know what to do. And nobody said anything.
And that's like, yeah, that was the problem. I didn't know what to do either.
Yeah.
Like, where do you go? What do you do? Like everybody says go to rehab, but it's not that easy. You can't, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't
Yeah.
know. They should have like some sort of system in place at the hospitals where they refer them to like a Joe Johnson's or
Yep.
whatever the equivalent of that is in your city. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy they don't do that.
Well, they kind of do now. Speaking of, to bring it full circle, that CPRS position that I was talking about, one of the things that they do is
Uh-huh.
called navigating. And the navigator position is a CPRS job. They go into hospitals and talk to people when they are dying of addiction after overdoses. Some of them go to EMS sites on the side of the road if an ambulance or anything shows up.
They need that. Yeah, they need that.
Yep, they absolutely need that, and it's amazing to know that that is now a service that that people will get service from either the hospital or the EMS and get treated, and they will get offered some kind of treatment.
That's awesome. Oh, it's freezing up again.
Mm,
Oh, what's up?
here we
Okay,
go.
there it goes.
Yeah. So yeah, that is one of the versions of what a CPRS does, is to go where people are the sickest and offer them some kind of treatment, whatever they're willing to do. They will get them into treatment that day, or get them hooked up with a Suboxone clinic, whatever.
That's great.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we need that for sure.
yeah,
That'd be a really good thing. And
it's
no,
huge.
Marcus, you can't OD on marijuana. I promise you, you cannot OD on marijuana.
Give it hell try. You cannot.
But
No.
I will say they're putting fentanyl on everything now. So
I'm
just
so
be very
glad you
careful, y'all.
because yeah, there's actually been navigators sent out to the hospital, and people have had fentanyl overdoses because it's dusted on marijuana now. So
Yeah.
buy it from Farm to Med. If you are going to smoke pot, please go to Farm to Med to get your stuff. Get a
Yes,
safe
be
supply.
careful.
If that is what you're going to do, get a safe supply from Farm to Med. They will sell it there.
Yep.
You're going
Y'all
to
be
do it
careful.
safe, y'all.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Charlotte, it's been like an hour and 10 minutes. I guess we could wrap it up.
Oh.
I appreciate you coming out and hanging out. It's always a blast. It always goes by really quick, and we always learn really good stuff. So I really thank you. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I have so much fun here. Thank you for letting me come talk and hang out. I really do enjoy it. I appreciate it so much.
I look for any excuse to get you back on here. So anytime you want to come back,
I'll come back.
just holler at me, or I may hit you up soon and harass you some more and get you back here. One way or another, we'll try to get you back soon.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
All right. Well, guys, be sure. Actually, it's going on right now, Between the Lines. I think it's on TM Nerdy's channel. They got special guest K-pop tonight. And also at 9 p.m. over on 22 Comics, he will have his top 10 alternatives, and they're always really good. So be sure to tune in for that. Thank you guys, all you guys that showed up for the live, and thank you to any of you that are catching the replay. I'll see you guys next week. Me and Marcus will have special guest Tristan Gallagher from Rad Wraith. It's going to be a blast. I'll see you guys later.